Have you ever wondered why one 1971 penny is worth just a few cents, while another can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars? If you have a 1971 Lincoln penny sitting in a jar, a drawer, or a collection album, this video is going to answer one of the biggest questions coin collectors ask. What actually determines the value of a 1971 penny? By the end of this video, you'll understand the difference between circulated and uncirculated coins, why condition is everything when it comes to value, what grades collectors pay attention to, and how to tell whether your 1971 penny might deserve a closer look. Most importantly, you'll learn why two pennies from the exact same year can have completely different values. Let's start with a surprising fact. The vast majority of 1971 pennies are not rare. More than 5 billion pennies were produced in 1971 across Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Because so many were made, millions still survive today. That means rarity alone is not what creates value for a typical 1971 penny. The real story is condition. This is where many people make a mistake. They find a 1971 penny, search online, see a headline claiming a 1971 penny sold for thousands of dollars, and immediately think their coin is worth a fortune. But what those headlines often leave out is that the coin selling for big money was usually in an exceptionally high grade, often preserved almost perfectly for decades. Think about it this way. Imagine two identical cars built in the same year. One has been driven every day for 50 years. The other has been stored in a climate-controlled garage and barely touched. Even though both are the same model, collectors will pay dramatically more for the one in better condition. The same principle applies to coins. Let's begin with circulated 1971 pennies. A circulated penny is one that spent time in everyday commerce. It passed from person to person, through cash registers, pockets, purses, vending machines, and banks. Over time, the coin develops wear. The highest points of Lincoln's portrait become smooth. The original luster disappears. Small scratches and marks accumulate. Most 1971 pennies found in circulation today fall into this category. For the average circulated example, collectors generally pay only a small premium above face value. Many circulated 1971 pennies sell for just a few cents to perhaps a dollar or two, depending on appearance and demand. Even attractive circulated examples remain common because so many were produced. This is the reality that many coin collectors eventually learn. Age does not automatically equal value. A coin can be more than 50 years old and still be worth only a few cents if millions survive in similar condition. Now let's move into the category where things become much more interesting. Uncirculated 1971 pennies. An uncirculated coin is a coin that never experienced normal circulation wear. It may have been saved shortly after leaving the mint. It may have remained in a roll, collection, or storage container for decades. At first glance, an uncirculated 1971 penny may not look dramatically different from a circulated example, but collectors see things differently. They look for original mint luster. They examine the sharpness of details. They study surface marks. They inspect color. Most importantly, they evaluate how well the coin survived compared with millions of others. This is where grading enters the picture. Coin grading uses a numerical scale. As the numbers rise, quality increases. Once a coin reaches the mint state range, often abbreviated as MS, it is considered uncirculated. For a typical 1971 penny in lower mint state grades, values remain relatively affordable. Many MS-63 and MS-65 examples can still be purchased for only a few dollars. That surprises many new collectors who assume any uncirculated coin must be expensive. But here's where the market changes dramatically. As the grade climbs higher, the number of surviving examples drops sharply. This creates what collectors call a condition rarity. The coin itself isn't rare. The condition is rare. And that distinction changes everything. Imagine 10,000 people save a 1971 penny. Perhaps thousands remain in average uncirculated condition. Maybe hundreds remain in very nice condition. but only a tiny number survive in truly exceptional condition with outstanding luster, strong strikes, minimal marks, and attractive original color. That's why high-grade examples command huge premiums. A 1971 Lincoln Cent graded MS-67 red can be worth dramatically more than lower-grade examples. Price guides and market records show values reaching into the hundreds of dollars, and some exceptional examples have realized far higher amounts when premium quality and strong collector demand come together. Now let's talk about something collectors obsess over when valuing copper coins: color. Not all 1971 pennies are valued equally even when the grade is similar. Collectors often classify Lincoln cents into three color categories: brown, red-brown, and red. A brown coin has lost most of its original copper-red appearance. A red-brown coin retains some original red color. A red coin maintains the bright original mint color that collectors love. Why does this matter? Because original red copper is difficult to preserve for decades. Exposure to air, moisture, and environmental conditions slowly changes the surface color. As a result, red examples usually bring the strongest prices. This is one reason why two MS-65 pennies can have noticeably different values. The coin with better original color often wins. Now let's imagine two collectors. Collector number 1 owns a circulated 1971 penny with obvious wear. Collector number 2 owns a bright red uncirculated 1971 penny with exceptional preservation. Both coins were produced during the same year. Both coins came from the same design. Both started life with the same face value. Yet the market may value them very differently because collectors are paying for preservation, not simply age. This concept is one of the most important lessons in coin collecting. Value follows scarcity. And in the case of most 1971 pennies, scarcity comes from condition. Let's take the discussion one step further. Suppose you find a roll of old pennies inherited from a relative. How do you decide whether a 1971 penny deserves attention? First, look at overall wear. If Lincoln's portrait shows heavy flattening and the coin appears dull, it is probably circulated. Second, examine color. Does the coin still show vibrant original red tones? Third, inspect the surfaces. Are there excessive scratches, contact marks, or discoloration? Fourth, look at eye appeal. Collectors often pay more for coins that simply look better. These factors combine to determine market value. Now let's discuss why some collectors actively search through rolls of pennies looking for 1971 examples. They're not necessarily searching for ordinary circulated coins. They're hunting for unusually well-preserved examples and varieties. A small percentage of 1971 pennies display double die characteristics. These varieties can bring significant premiums, especially when preserved in high grades. Experts note that several double die varieties exist for the year, with some commanding strong collector interest. This creates an interesting situation. A common coin can suddenly become much more valuable when an important variety combines with exceptional condition. Think about the math. Billions of 1971 pennies were struck, but only a tiny fraction survive as top-grade examples, and an even smaller fraction combine top-grade preservation with desirable varieties. That is where serious collector money enters the picture. Now let's address a question many viewers are probably asking. Should you grade your 1971 penny? The answer depends on condition. Most circulated examples are not worth the cost of professional grading. However, if you believe your coin is exceptionally well preserved, retains strong red color, and appears nearly flawless, professional grading may be worth investigating. Why? Because authentication and grading provide confidence to buyers, and confidence often translates into stronger prices. Another important point is market psychology. Collectors compete for the best examples, not just good examples, the best examples. When registry set collectors attempt to build top-ranked collections, they often pursue the finest certified coins available. This competitive demand can push values higher for top population pieces. That's why a coin worth only a few dollars in one grade can become worth hundreds in a higher grade. The difference may appear small to a casual observer, but to collectors, it represents a completely different level of rarity. Let's compare three hypothetical coins. Coin number 1 is heavily circulated value, a few cents. Coin number 2 is attractive uncirculated MS63 red value, roughly around $1 or less depending on the market. Coin number 3 is a premium quality MS67 red example with exceptional eye appeal. Value, potentially hundreds of dollars and sometimes much more depending on certification and market demand. That's an enormous value gap. And yet all three coins say 1971. This is why experienced collectors never judge a coin's value solely by its date. They judge condition first. The date simply starts the conversation. The grade finishes it. As we begin wrapping up, remember the most important lesson from today's video. The typical 1971 penny is common. Most circulated examples carry only modest value. The real opportunities appear when a coin survives in exceptional uncirculated condition, retains original red color, or displays a desirable variety that collectors actively pursue. So the next time you come across a 1971 penny, don't ask only one question. Don't ask, "How old is it?" Ask a better question. What condition is it in? That single question could be the difference between a coin worth a few cents and a coin that attracts serious collector attention. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to USA Vintage Coins and turn on notifications, because we regularly uncover the hidden value behind everyday coins that many people overlook. Leave a comment below and tell us whether your 1971 penny is circulated or uncirculated. And before you leave, take another look through your coin jar, because the next valuable coin you find might already be sitting in your home right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.